All right, I'd like to go over again for the recording for the. Yeah, I'm gonna mention that. I want to go over those 5 points. I believe we have 5 points that are very important to see things change in America, to see things change around the world. One of the things that I would like to say before I start on those 5 points is that we will have to do much better than this. I can tell you as an American, for us to stand here and hold signs and yell, "Muslims, quit killing my brother," it's not going to do any good. It's just not going to work. This is not going to work if we can't get more people motivated to come out. And that's actually your job. You're going to have to somehow communicate to the Coptics. I understand that here in the United States and here in Los Angeles there are many million. They're going to have to come out. Things are not going to be done and not going to be changed unless we can get the masses out. That's how it happened. During the Civil Rights Movement, Martin Luther King Jr., when he started in Alabama, he had 0 white churches with him and 3 black churches. That was all he had. But as the movement kept going, the movement grew, the numbers grew, and as the numbers grow, then our power and our authority will grow. We will not grow, we will not get our way because we're right. The world does not work that way. It does not just work according to what is right and what is correct and what is just. You need the finances and you need the numbers. We have to be able to, and you have to be able to. You have to be able to convince the Coptic Christians who live here in Los Angeles that if we have another demonstration, then they must come out. If they are not going to come out, then we are quite frankly all wasting our time and our energy by coming out here. So we have to do something. Whether it is to pray, whether it is to talk to the Coptic Christians, to somehow overcome that fear we have. And I had a man just talk to me, he said, we have as Coptic Christians a lot of fear. Because we were raised in fear, we grew up in fear, and we have fear. And we have to overcome that fear. We are in the United States of America, we have certain rights, we have protections, we have the First Amendment, and we must overcome that fear. I mean, just like the tremendous amount of fear that grips us, when there is the slightest indication, we may burn the Quran. Whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, that's not the point. The point is the very thought of that, the very mentioning of that, grips us with such a fear. It is unrealistic. It is a book. It is just simply a book. To us, it's a bad book. To them, it's a great book. It is still a book. It does not bleed. It does not reproduce. It does not breathe. It is simply a book. And when we have a demonstration like this, we should have thousands and thousands of people here. If we're not going to do that, if the Coptic Christians in America are not willing to pay the price, then nothing is going to happen. So we have to be willing to pay a price. Every single movement, every single change has to be willing to pay a price. And that's not just a price from a few people, from a lot of people. So we need to pray, we need to cry out to God, we need to get on our knees, and we need to defeat that spirit of fear that keeps people from coming out. We have right now, we have Los Angeles, California, we have a beautiful sunny day, we have Saturday, where most people, a lot of people are not working. There's no reason for them not to be here. We've got to do something. If your leadership tells you not to come, you've got to disobey it. I know in the Coptic world that's a big deal. If the priest and the bishop tells you not to do something, you don't do it. Well, I tell you, I'm a priest, I'm a pastor, I understand that, but we are accountable to God. It's all fine and dandy what our priest and our pastor tells us, but we're accountable to God. He said sooner or later all of us are going to stand before the judgment throne of God. We are going to be accountable for Him. We cannot say, oh, my wife wouldn't let me come. I had a baseball game with my kids. Oh, my pastor told me not to come. That's not going to fly with God. Because when it all comes down to it, every one of us are accountable to ourselves, to God. And we need to be here. We need to be here and we need to demand those 5 things. As we close today, I would like to repeat them again, because I believe that those are the 5 things that can save us in America. Because in America, Islam, you all know that, Islam is growing. Well, we have a very evil president, a Muslim pro-president, an Islam pro-president, and we see what is going on. Islam has grown from 1970. They had 100,000 Muslims in this country. In 1970, 100,000. Now they have around 9 million. I lived 30 years outside of the United States. I was a missionary in Europe. I saw personally what happened. I saw them do the same thing there that they're doing here. They're talking peace, 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 peace. And the Europeans, which are about as stupid as the Americans, they're buying it. And look what's going on now. Look what's going on in Germany. Look what's going on in England. They come on the street. They say, death to America, death to Israel. And our president wants to give away a little bit of Israel. They begin to dominate countries like France, Holland, Germany. Germany, where I spent 30 years. The Bundeskanzlerin just came out a few months ago and said the Muslims who live in Germany will not be governed under Sharia. Why did she say that? Well, why would she have to say that? Why would she say that? Well, because there's a problem. Because that, as you know, that is their agenda. But see, it doesn't help if we know it. So one of the first things that has to happen is that we have to do something at the UN. We cannot sit down with thieves, murderers, and killers. I mean, how far have we fallen? We sit down with Pakistan, Afghanistan. We are big buddies with Saudi Arabia. We sit down with those people. They laugh in our face. They think Americans are stupid. Because they are. They laugh in our face. So see, all the talking doesn't do any good. It's time for talking to be over. It's time for some action. In other words, what needs to happen is the United States of America needs to grow a backbone again. The old bumper sticker, these colors don't run. Not true. We've been running for a long time. We need to grow a backbone. We need to tell those countries, you either adapt human rights, civil rights, you either adapt freedom of speech, freedom of religion, you stop killing people, or we pull them out of the UN. Number 2, as I said before, is stop all Muslim immigration. So we have enough problems of our own. Well, we don't have enough jobs. And we have what? 10, 20, 30 million illegals in our country. And we debate about it. It shows the backbone we have. We debate about it. Did we forget what the word means, illegal? It means you're actually illegal. Well, where is there to debate? Where do they get a driver's license, hospitalization, education? The word's called illegal. I mean, when this is over, if I run that stop sign, if I rob that bank, I've done something illegal. You think they're going to let me off? I mean, the key word is illegal. Well, where is the discussion? Well, where do we discuss about what they get or don't get? It's illegal. They are illegal. I run that stop sign, the cops stop me, I say, well, I'm sorry. They said, well, we're glad you're sorry, but that was illegal. Well, I'm really like a nice guy. Well, we're glad you're a nice guy, but that was actually illegal what you did. Well, I've been a missionary for 30 years, help the poor. That's fine, that's good. Well, what you did is illegal. So where is actually the discussion there? If it's illegal, it's illegal. Stop all Muslim immigration. Do something about the illegal. Number 3, check the mosque. Check all of the mosques. Make sure that those mosques are not places of propaganda. Make sure that those places are places of worship. As I said before, they did a report. Reported on the State Department. And they found out that 80% of all imams are radical. They believe in Sharia. That's what they promote. That's what they believe in. So you know what they do. And I understand Americans. See, it's hard for us to believe that a religion is like that. Because we have a concept of religion as being a good thing, a peaceful thing, a thing that promotes harmony. That's not Islam. That's not what they do. Well, we consider that religion is something where you tell the truth, you're moral, you don't lie, you don't cheat on your taxes, you try to do the right thing. But we know that's not what Islam does. We know that they say one thing and then turn around and say something different. But that's actually not a problem. That's part of the teaching. That's part of the culture. There's nothing wrong with that in their eyes. The embassies that are located, our American embassies, should not be run and controlled by Muslims. Story after story after story after story I hear where Coptics, where Christians, people who are being persecuted, they go to the American embassies, a place that should be of protection and good, a place of freedom. They go there to those places, and they are turned down because the people in authority are not Americans, and they're not Christian. They're not represented in that U.S. embassy. We turn them down because actually Muslims are in control of our embassy in the United States, in those foreign countries. Number 5, the banning of Sharia. The banning of Sharia should not be a problem unless it's a problem, correct? Isn't that what they always say? Isn't that what the IRS always says if they investigate you? They say, well, if you have nothing to hide, it shouldn't be a problem. So banning of Sharia shouldn't be a problem to the Muslims unless they really don't want to ban Sharia. In other words, if they have already come here to submit to the Constitution of the United States, to obey the Constitution, to respect the Constitution, then the banning of Sharia should not actually be a problem. But the banning of Sharia is a problem. So I call that we do, and that we demand the nationwide banning of Sharia. Now, number 1, put the Muslims in their place. Show them where the line is, where it's drawn. And number 2, the Americans that have a hesitation, have a fear concerning Sharia. And that would, of course, make us feel much better if we would just simply ban it. Well, I believe that those are the 5 things that need to be done in order to save America. Those are the 5 things that need to be done in order to save Egypt, in order to turn some of those other countries around. Thank you very much.